Hello, everybody. How are you all doing today? It's time for Doki-Doki again. We're gonna finish it today. We're gonna finish the side stories. We just pause this real quick. There we go. I'm gonna try to finish this today because tomorrow I want to... my little cat. I love my friend cat. Because tomorrow I want to play Romancylvania. So we have 6 more side stories to do. Natsuki! While Natsuki is messing with the orientation of her manga in the closet shelves, Sayori approaches from behind and pulls her into an embrace. Oh my god, this game is so loud. There we go. What? Hi! Hi. The Literature Club has been in full swing since Natsuki joined. Including her, the club is now comprised of 4 members: Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monika. Each club member had received a day in the spotlight to share all of their favorite kinds of literature with each other. Natsuki was first and shared her passion for manga. Then Sayori shared her love for poetry, as well as how she goes about writing it herself. Monika, who has multiple literary interests, decided to focus her day on short stories. And finally, Yuri managed to demonstrate her obsession with fantasy with a little help and encouragement from Sayori. After the week was spent on their presentations, Monika decided to give the club members this week to freely explore each other's literary interests. Oh my fucking god, I can't read today. At least I can't speak today. Sayori, having spent most of her time in the club so far with Yuri's fantasy books, is rather excited to begin her journey into Natsuki's manga collection. I want to read with you today! Tell me which one I should pick! Well, that depends on the kind of stuff you like. I mean, there's like romance, drama, comedy, mystery. I like all those things! Sayori reaches out and pulls a random book from the shelf and inspects the cover. Exactly. The side stories without the MC should just have this would have been a great Yuri VN. Exactly. I mean, come on, it's so perfect. I mean, I guess technically speaking, the MC is a guy, but you know, at the end, Monika's like, I don't even know if you're a boy or a girl, so. Shouldn't this girl be wearing more clothes? You wouldn't like that one. Oh, we know what kind of manga that one is then. And I told Fiona yesterday, we were at Books A Million, and it was the dress-up manga. And then I realized it was rap, and we were both like, well, we know what kind of manga this is. Because Mr. Bogath, we said that Mr. Bogath should read it because he'd been playing Infinity Nikki. Yeah, My Dress-Up Darling, yeah. That one. We found it in Books A Million, and it's shrink-wrapped. In a panic, Natsuki snatches the book from Sayori's hand, then replaces it on the shelf in a less conspicuous location. Okay, well, if you really have no preference, then let's just start with something that's easy to get into. A lot of these don't start to get really good until like a few volumes in, and I wouldn't ask someone to make that kind of commitment unless they're already really into manga. I could handle it. I did it with Yuri's book, at least. Well, I'm more considerate than that. She could read that. I mean, she could, but we were talking about you, and then we realized that it was shrink-wrapped. Everyone's favorite waifu. Well, it's shrink-wrapped for a reason, I'm assuming. Although I'm kind of impressed by your attention span if you put that much effort into her books. No, I have the attention span of a donut. But I love my friends, and I can do anything if it's for them. Well, okay then. Let's pick you something that even donuts can read. I didn't say I was a donut. I just said I had the attention span of one. Oh, are you just trying to call me sweet? You're so cute. Oh, okay. Probably a publisher agreement. I couldn't remember. No, how did you get to that conclusion? And don't call me that. A donut? Cute. Aw, how come? I just don't like it. I don't need a reason. Natsuki yanks the book from the shelf and closes the closet doors. If someone asks you to stop, then you just need to stop. People need to realize that. I was sorry. I really didn't mean to hurt you. Nah, sorry, it wasn't you. Natsuki shakes her head while pulling a second chair over to her desk. Uh-oh, she's giving Sayori the tsundere treatment. Exactly. I was talking about something else. I didn't mean to get angry all of a sudden. Natsuki averts her gaze and mumbles. You're like a nice person, so I wasn't talking about you. I still learned a valuable lesson. Sayori speaks softly as well, feeling shy after receiving the unexpected compliment. Well, anyway, here's the book, so just start whenever you feel like it. What's it about? Well, it's like a comedy, and there's romance too, obviously. Sayori looks at the title. It's called Love is Another Word for Luck. It's about a girl who keeps accidentally running into the same guys, and then you find out, well, you should just read it. But you have to tell me what you think. I can already guess who you're going to ship yourself with. It would be so funny if I'm right. Ship? I don't get it. Never mind. Let's not worry about that yet. Just make sure you tell me what you think. Oh, okay. I'll start then. Hey, maybe tomorrow we could do poetry too. Oh, yeah, I guess. But don't you want to finish this first? Hello, Sunny. I don't know if you heard, kissy time. I don't know if you all heard Sunny's arrival, but he has arrived. Yeah, but we can do both. I mean, unless you just don't like poetry. Leave my cup and my straw alone. I mean, unless you don't like poetry, then I won't make you do... I won't make you or anything. No, it's just... Well, never mind. We can worry about it tomorrow. After the club meeting ends and Natsuki and Yuri leave, Monika strikes up a conversation with Sayori. I see you got Natsuki to share some of her manga with you. I really want to become better friends with her. She's so enthusiastic and expressive. I could just listen to her talk. She's so cute. I'm not sure if she meant to say I can't say that to her, or if I can't just say it at all. Say what? Nothing. I'm a woman of respect. But Natsuki is a woman of cute. Oh, I said it. What's so bad about that? I don't know. But you know, there's one thing I'm kind of worried about. Sometimes I'm afraid that Natsuki actually doesn't like me very much. Oh, that's ridiculous. How come you feel that way? Well, I mean, just little signs, like how she only says hi to me after I say hi to her first. Bruh, Sayori, I know exactly. And it feels like she only gets excited to talk to me when it's about manga and other stuff she likes. She just seems dismissive a lot. She was like that when I brought up poetry. Yeah, but that doesn't mean she doesn't like you. She's probably just shy, you know? Maybe. My stupid head is just making me worry for no reason. It likes to do that. It's okay. Try not to worry so much. Everything will be great. But you can always talk to me about any concerns that you have. I'm here to help. You're the best. Sayori gives Monika a quick hug. Well, I'm going to keep trying because I love her and I want to get closer to her. You got this. Sayori's so fucking cute. After the next club meeting starts, Sayori is the last one in as usual. Trotting into the room, she sees Natsuki sitting alone by the closet, reading what must be manga. Without hesitation, Sayori pulls up a chair and plops herself down right next to Natsuki. Hello there! Hi. What you reading? Can I read it with you? Natsuki pulls the book away from Sayori. You can't just start in the middle. There are spoilers. Besides, what about the one I gave you yesterday? Sorry, I was just curious. Well, anyway, I've been waiting forever for this volume to come out. It just came out yesterday, so... Oh, that's exciting. Well, I'll let you read it then. Mm-hmm. Can I sit next to you, though? Sure. Sayori plops herself down next to Natsuki, then pulls out a blank sheet of paper. Natsuki reads in silence, save for the periodic flutter of a page being released from beneath her thumb. From Sayori's side, only the light tapping noises of her pen, meaning the paper, can be heard. What is Sayori writing, though? Time passes. Sayori's paper is filled with scribbles, and the margins are lined with stick figures. Natsuki lets out a deep sigh and closes her book. Did you finish? She could be sketching, that's true. I thought she was supposed to be reading. No, but it's a good stopping point. My head is swimming. I need a break. Natsuki stretches her arms. Aren't you bored? No, I was writing. Oh, I saw the stick figures and thought you were just bored. I just draw those when I'm thinking or waiting for inspiration. I made friends with them all. This one is sad because she thinks the night sky is pretty, but she can't look up at the stars in public without everyone thinking she's a weirdo. What the fuck, Sayori? I do that all the time, okay? God. She's fucking saying I'm a weirdo, I guess. Damn. That's harsh, Sayori. That's harsh. I'm a weirdo for looking at the stars in public. Okay, then. And this one has problems with his back, but the doctors can't figure out. Mr. Brogath, we're getting called out. We're getting called out. And this one has problems with his back, but the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with him. You know who else has back problems? A certain raccoon that's in chat. What the heck? You're the weirdo. Want to read the poem I'm working on? Sure, I guess. Sayori slides the paper over to Natsuki. As Natsuki reads through the poem, she furrows her eyebrows. She slides the paper back over to Sayori. Don't you ever feel weird just sharing all your thoughts and feelings like that? I mean, your poems are, like, really emotional. Is that bad? Well, no, it was just an observation. I think people can get closer to each other if they find ways of expressing their feelings. Well, Natsuki begins to protest, but she can't find a good way of putting her thoughts into words. Doesn't that depend more on the kinds of friends you have? Like kissing. I don't know. To each their own. But I've never met anyone I'd feel comfortable sharing my poems with. Not that it's you, it's just how I am, so. You write poems? You never told me that. I just thought you wrote other stuff. Yeah, that too, but... You should. I mean, would you ever want to share? Like I said, I don't do that. But... Can we talk about something else? I'm sorry. It's not your fault. It just makes me uncomfortable. I can't help it. Still, I'm sorry. It's fine. Damn. Well, let's move on to something that makes us both happy. I should continue the book you gave me since I didn't get very far yet. Sure. Over the next few days, Sayori begins each club meeting by approaching Natsuki with unwavering enthusiasm. It's Natsuki! Natsuki! Oh my god. Hi, Natsuki! Natsuki's like, leave me the fuck alone. At the end of one club meeting, Monica, who has become rather invested in Sayori's friendship mission, starts an innocuous conversation with Natsuki while she packs up. It's cool that you've been finding time to spend with Sayori. She was pretty excited the chance to read manga with you. Yeah. I'm sure you've been enjoying the chance to share it too, right? Yeah, mostly. Natsuki glances over her shoulder, but doesn't reply further. What's on your mind? Nothing. I don't talk about people behind their backs. Oh. Natsuki falls silent, but she just visits instead of getting back to what she was doing, as though she wants to say more. It's okay to share your feelings. That's different from talking about someone behind their back. I guess. I just hate when people talk about me behind my back, so I'm better than to do it to others. Monica shares a bright smile. You're really considerate. Thanks, I guess, but it doesn't feel like it. You can trust me. Natsuki stands in silence for a moment, still fidgeting. I just feel smothered sometimes. I'm not used to someone being, like, all over me right after we eat meat. She probably thinks Sayori doesn't actually like her. I don't know, she probably thinks she likes her too much. I mean, it's fun to hang out with her, but I just have no control over the pace. I can't just meet someone and instantly become best friends with them and, like, share everything about myself. That's not how it works. We're probably right. I just want to chill out sometimes. Oh, I didn't realize that was happening. It's fine. Why would you have? I know. I just feel bad about it. I know Sayori, so I should have realized. Monica navigates through her tinge of guilt, which has surfaced mainly due to her being the one who previously encouraged Sayori's behavior. Despite not knowing the situation, Monica can't help but feel a little responsible. Do you want me to talk to her about it? No, I wouldn't like that. Well, I could. I don't know. I could, like, divert her into another club activity for you or something. No way. That would be so underhanded and mean. Sorry, I didn't think that one through. Besides, just because I complained about it doesn't mean I'm asking for someone to solve my problems for me. True. I'm sorry. I guess I just instinctively want to try to solve problems, even if I haven't been invited to. Mostly. It's fine. I would talk to Sayori about it, but that would make things really weird between us. I feel like it would make her just constantly be afraid that she's bothering me. I don't know how to just keep things natural. Well, I think if you do a good job expressing all your feelings, she would totally understand. Sayori really wants to be the best that she can be for other people. I think she would actually be happy that you want to improve your friendship with her. Maybe. Ugh, just feels so dumb. Talking to someone how to be friends with them? It's just weird and not cool. Monica shrugs. It's the literature club. Then she mumbles through a stifled laugh. It's not the cool club. Hey! Sorry, that just tickled me for some reason. She's turning it up to 11, exactly. Look, I know that you're kind of in a tough spot, and that it's hard for you to really express yourself. But you really demonstrated to me that you're great at self-reflection and critical thinking, even if it doesn't feel like it to you. I think that's the most important part of being able to navigate through these things. So I believe that you'll find the right thing to do. Well, Natsuki instinctively starts to reject the compliment, but she can't find any excuse to do so. Thanks. Natsuki gathers her things, and then she finishes her thoughts in a mumble. And I'm still glad I joined the club, even if it's weird sometimes. Monica smiles, but Natsuki turns her back and walks away before waiting for a reply. It was an unusual way for Natsuki to express her appreciation, but Monica knew what she meant. It made Monica feel like everything was... Oh my god. It made Monica feel like everything really was going to be okay. Can't read and speak at the same time. Balance, Part 2. It's lunchtime. Sayori, who usually buys her lunch, is making her way to the cafeteria like any other day. The clamor and bustle of the students is drowned by Sayori's impeccable skill of zoning out. However, her imagination is momentarily interrupted by the glimpse of a familiar pink-haired girl. Hey, that's Natsuki! I never run into the other club members around the school. Natsuki! Sayori stands on her tiptoes and waves. Natsuki, who's busy walking and chatting with her friends, doesn't notice Sayori at first. Then she glances over in Sayori's direction. Sayori waves enthusiastically. Uh-oh. Following her friends, Natsuki quickly ducks around the corner. Hey! She definitely saw me! Poor Sayori. Oh, it was mean, it was. Monica is the first to arrive at the club meeting, then Natsuki. Sayori, having glanced through the window to see Natsuki already inside, is unable to work up enough courage to enter. Natsuki's been so distant with me. Ew, I was stupid to think she ever wanted to be friends. She only got excited because she got to share her manga. But aside from that, she doesn't even like me. I should just go home today. Sorry, but do you plan on going inside? No! Why? I'm sulking! Oh. Well, I'm sorry for bothering you. Excuse me. No, don't leave me! Oh, I'll stay here then. I don't want to go in! I'm afraid of bothering Natsuki. I saw her at lunch today, so I waved and called out to her, but instead of saying hi, she just ran away from me. Really? Snap. Not bad. Hey! Sorry, I'm sorry, that was a joke. It just sounded like something stupid that I would do, from anxiety. From anxiety? Well, I just don't like attention being drawn to myself. Oh! Well, that makes sense based on the person you are. But Natsuki isn't shy like that at all. I thought we were friends. But it feels like every day she's just trying to distance herself more instead of get closer. It makes me feel like she was only spending time with me during the club because I was reading manga. But she doesn't actually want to be friends with me. Well, I feel like I'm missing a lot of context here. Was she in the middle of anything when you approached her? No, she was just walking with her friends. With her friends? Yuri pauses for a moment. How do I put this? Sayori, you're very fond of your friends, right? You always want to be spending time with them. Of course! I don't think there's anything more important to me. I mean, the best parts of my day are always with my friends. Besides that, I really hate being alone, so... You hate being alone? Sayori nods. We're very different people. I cherish my time alone. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So I think, well, if I was trying to have alone time and it was being threatened with an interruption, then it just would not make me very happy. Yeah, but that doesn't have to do with Natsuki. She was already with her friends, not trying to be alone or anything. No, I think it's similar. It's, well, we're all friends in the club, but we have our own lives outside of the club as well. If you think about it, making new friends isn't some casual occurrence that happens on a daily basis. A friendship is an invitation to intertwine your lives together. But the capacity at which each person is ready to do that might be different. But Sayori is too sweet. It has to override that. There are friends who just like to have their fun together, and others who talk every day and share every detail of their lives with each other. I think when establishing a friendship, it's important to consider the comfort level of the other person. I mean, we don't really know much about Natsuki's life outside the club. It could be that she simply needs to make friends at her own pace, rather than jump headfirst into a new commitment. But that means I was really bothering her? I just wanted to be good friends with her, so I treated her like one. Was I actually hurting her? I don't know. I'm sorry. My insight was really only based on what I understand about my own needs. And Natsuki and I are completely different, so... Why was I so selfish? Even if all that is true, then it still means I hurt her. I think I messed up. Yuri, with you, I think I was really careful to understand your needs when I was becoming friends with you. But I wasn't careful at all with Natsuki because she already seemed really social. I just took control of everything instead of looking for the right balance. Now I hurt her and she doesn't want to talk to me. How could I let myself do this? Sayori, I think that... Well, there was one time you told me something about the way I saw things in my head being different from reality. It's easy to automatically jump to the worst case scenario, but I think it's more likely that Natsuki doesn't harbor any ill feelings towards you. So I think if we were to really realistically consider the situation and how it would cause someone to feel, I'm bad at this, I'm sorry. You're a lot better at me than things like comforting and reassuring people. Suddenly, Sayori gives Yuri a gentle hug. You're the best, Yuri. I'm sorry for burdening you with this. You're trying so hard for me. You're such a sweetheart. It's not a burden. I enjoy listening to others, and my friends deserve happiness. Sayori beams. Well, I think I'm gonna give Natsuki some space. She should do what she wants. And if she still does want to be friends, then I'll learn her needs and I'll match her boundaries. Yeah, I'm sure that's what's best. I wish I didn't feel so awful and guilty. It makes me feel desperate, like I need to make it up to her by trying to make her happy. But that's not what she needs. I just have to tell myself that It hurts, but I guess it means I still need to grow. I really want to grow as a person. If it's to be better for my friends, I want that. That's very mature of you, Sayori. I'm mature. Sayori hops up and down on her toes. Oh my god, she's definitely, I don't know about that. So, does that mean you'll be going home after all? Sayori shakes her head. I need to be here to show her that I respect her space. I'll just spend the club by myself today. Yuri nods in understanding. You can go in first. Okay. You're blocking the door. Oh! Sayori steps aside. By the way, before Yuri enters the club room, Sayori interjects. You said that you and Natsuki are completely different, but I don't really think that's true. I think you're actually really similar in a lot of ways. Yuri smiles and shakes her head. Sayori, that's absurd. You're very silly sometimes. Yuri turns and enters the club room. I think that's true too. These bitches don't realize Sayori's already perfect. After a moment, Sayori follows. The club room is quiet. When Sayori walks in, Natsuki glances in her direction. Sayori smiles and gives Natsuki a quick wave before sitting down across the room. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Sayori decides it's best to continue the manga she was reading, so she pulls it out. However, it looks like Natsuki isn't reading today. She has a sheet of paper in front of her and is tapping a pen against her desk, staring at it. Ooh, are we writing today? Monika speaks in a quiet voice, unwilling to disturb the peace of the club room. She kneels down at Natsuki's desk. Hey! Natsuki pulls the sheet closer to her and covers it with her arms. Sorry, I didn't mean to peek. Whatever. I just wanted to see how everything was going. It's fine, Natsuki replies dismissively. She glances over at Sayori, who is focused on her manga. Monika follows Natsuki's gaze. I think she's mad at me. How come? I'm busy right now. Ask me later. Monika falls silent. Natsuki looks back down at her paper. She inches her hand away from the top margin, allowing Monika to see. It says, to Sayori. Understanding, Monika smiles. She places a hand on Natsuki's shoulder and whispers softly. I know, right? I'm proud of you. Natsuki looks away, but makes no motion to remove Monika's hand. Monika gives Natsuki's shoulder a quick squeeze before standing back up and pulling away. Damn, Monika's like low-key a little bit like Sayori too. Like, not overzealous, but, you know, very supporting. The end of the club meeting passes. Yuri has already departed. So has Monika, after checking on Sayori and Natsuki to ensure they wouldn't stay too late. Sayori was determined to finish her manga volume before heading out, since the end was approaching. However, with Natsuki also staying late for an unknown reason, a silent tension hangs in the air. After finishing the volume, Sayori brings it to the closet to put it away. She slides it back onto the shelf while Natsuki watches. Then, Natsuki gets back up and pulls it back out in order to return it to its proper location. Sorry! I didn't know that where it's supposed to go. It's fine. The two fall silent again, avoiding eye contact. They both look like they're about to say something, but neither can break the silence. A moment passes. Well, I'll be on my way. See you tomorrow. Sayori turns away to hide her pained expression, then walks away from the closet. No, not Sayori. If there was any proof Natsuki no longer wanted to be friends, this was it. Defeated, Sayori carries herself out of the club room. Snap. Once in the hallway, Sayori takes a deep breath and hits her palms against her cheeks in order to clear her head a little. Suddenly, Natsuki's stammering voice calls out from behind. Natsuki! Startled, Sayori turns back around to face Natsuki. Aw, look! Natsuki fidgets and anxiously continues with a shaking voice. I have a lot of things to say. But me too! But you go first! Natsuki bites her lips and can't stay still. Well, first of all, she cuts herself short, struggling to continue. Trying to force the words out, she stamps her foot and hops up and down a little bit. I'm sorry for the thing I did at lunch, and I'm sorry for just kind of being mean lately. It's really hard for me to I'm not good with things that make me uncomfortable. Especially when it comes to like feelings and stuff. So, oh my god, look at that face. That's a good face right there. Face burning, Nazi clams up again. Instead of continuing, she simply holds up a sheet of paper for Sayori to take. The best place in the world. I love my bedroom. It's full of bright colors and soft things. The sunlight shines in and makes everything sparkle. It's the best place in the world. It has all my treasures, all my books, my collections, my memories. All of my dreams were born in this room. It's the best place in the world. It has all of my secrets, all of my failures, my fears, my feelings. Sometimes it feels so fragile that the door will break at the slightest touch. But it's still the best place in the world. But when someone knocks, I get scared. I brace my arms against the loose hinges. Please don't break. Don't come in. I'm not ready. It's my best place in the world. The knocking won't stop. I block the door with furniture. An eye peeks through the keyhole and I panic. I'm trapped in the best place in the world. I'm not ready to share my favorite place. I need to clean my secrets and make my bed to hide my nightmares. I need to touch them to put them away, to see them again. I have so much to do and I'm scared. I'm not ready. But it's still my favorite place. I still want to share it. However long it takes, if you wait patiently, I'll eventually open the door and I'll show you the best place in the world. How sweet. This is Momika. It's true, that's Momika. It's a poem. But I thought, well, I sucked it up so that I can work things out with you. So just be happy about it. Please. Sayori smiles deeply from the bottom of her heart. I'm happier than I can express. I feel so awful, but I'm so happy that you would do this for me. I actually realized before the club meeting today that I made a mistake. I got so caught up in the chance to get closer to you that I forgot to think about what you wanted. And that we probably have different ways we like to make friends. About, like, the friendship stuff. I mean, it's okay. I understand, so you don't have to force yourself to talk about it. Your poem did a good job. So don't force yourself if you're not ready, okay? Natsuki nods. You don't have to feel like you did anything wrong. It's my fault and I'm sorry. I wasn't mad at you today or anything like that. I actually felt really guilty and wanted to give you space. I was thinking it's silly that I just approach you all the time, and I should just let you approach me when you want to. Just whatever makes you comfortable. I respect that from now on. Friendships should always start with those things. It's true. With the right balance. Natsuki nods again. One thing about that. Well, I don't want to have to approach you all the time either. I just want it to be balanced, like you said. Sayori nods. I understand. We'll make sure of that together, then. Well, anyway, now that the two of them have found now that the two of them have found common ground, Natsuki finds it easier to speak more freely again. I'm not gonna be like sharing my poems all the time now or anything like that. But I guess it wouldn't hurt to do once in a while. Only the best ones. So you better like them, because otherwise I might change my mind. I like anything you do, Natsuki. I was just saying. More importantly, I have to tell you about my new boyfriend. Huh? Oh, from the manga. Wait, I need to, like, guess who it is. You definitely won't be able to guess. The two walk down the hallway together. Oh my god, we have so much to talk about. Darn, I should have told you to save the last two chapters so I could see your reaction to the big reveal. Oh, you wanted to enjoy it with me. That's so cute. Oh, shush. So cute. Issues caused by unprotected memory. Has anyone evaluated the side effects that might be caused by sharing a memory pool between multiple VMs rather than allocating them separately? I'm looking at some of the files VM1 is generating, and I'm finding some information that definitely shouldn't be there. I haven't seen any evidence that is actually affecting the inside of the VM itself, so I don't think this is a priority, but it's definitely worth noting. My best guess is that memory being freed from VM2 isn't getting zeroed out, which technically gives VM1 access to it. All the info I have will go to the issue tracker, but I wanted to check if anyone else had already noticed something along these lines. Okay. Aw, look. Oh my god, it's got cats. That's so cute. He's set as wallpaper? Okay. What? Your desktop? I got... I got an achievement. It was like, give me an error. It's funny. Look at Natsuki. Reflection. Am I bothering you? No. Okay, just checking. It's hard to tell since you always look so into it when you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt. Well, it's within my expectations to be interrupted when I read here. It's mainly when I'm by myself that I don't like it. That makes sense. I guess if you're here in the first place, then you're more ready to socialize, even if it takes a little bit of prodding. It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work, so it can be healthy to put myself in a social environment every now and then. It's mostly difficult when I don't know anyone, or there are too many people, or everyone is being too silly for me to keep up with. Yuri glances across the room at Sayori and Natsuki. Sayori has her head cocked back and her mouth open, trying to catch pieces of a cookie that Natsuki is lobbing into the air, but the pieces keep bouncing off her face and hitting the floor. Like, for real though. Yuri's like those two over there. Being annoying. I love it. Maybe I should say something. No need. They just ran out of cookie. What a waste. They've really become good friends, haven't they? I'm happy. Sayori seems particularly good at making that happen. Which two is this side story? I don't know, actually. It might be Monika and Yuri. But the two of them are both on the energetic side, so I suppose it works out well. Yeah, come to think of it, you and I haven't had many chances to talk one-on-one, have we? But that may be partially my fault, since I'm supposed to be the one engaging club members. Not at all. I've probably formed a habit of drawing minimal attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me, at least to display some openness to engage. Well, what about during times like lunch? Do you meet up with friends? I just read. Oh. But I like it that way. It feels nice to be carried off again after a morning of classes. Do you always read fantasy? Oh, not always. I suppose it's all I've read recently, but only because I'm in the middle of the series. There are still 2 more books after this one. I guess those long boots suit you well, since you spent so much time reading. Well, fantasy may be my favorite, but after that, I'm more and less indiscriminate to genres. I'll read anything with depth and maturity. Yuri and Monika seems that way, probably. Oh yeah? Even like romance? Oh hell, there are a lot of books that have elements of romance in them. Oh, come on, Yuri, you know what I mean. Monika lowers her voice. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I won't tell anyone if you do, too. Maybe more when I was in middle school. I mean, I was really lonely and people were mean to me a lot. So it kind of felt like... please don't make me think about the past. Sorry, I just get super curious. You know, we should totally pick out a romance novel to read. That would be so much fun. Absolutely not. Really? Even if it was just between us? Try asking someone who has no shame, like Natsuki. Ouch! Sorry, I swear I didn't mean that. She has the tism. Well, I guess it was my fault for pressing you. I'm like that for things in my past, so you know. Things I feel too embarrassed to re-experience. That was mean, it was mean. But she didn't mean it that way. So I mean she has the tism, right? There's nothing wrong with growing out of things. It happens to everyone. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga reminds me quite a bit about how intense I used to be about my own interests. It makes me think that she'll likely grow out of it too. Were you talking about me? No, we were just talking about how our interests have changed over the years. When did you get into manga, Natsuki? Like a couple years ago, I guess. I was already sort of into it before that, but I wasn't really going hard until then. The growing out of it comment is even more mean. Oh yeah? What was it that inspired you to get more into it? I don't know. I guess, let me think. It was after I discovered a series that I really liked. Yeah, I was just like really fed up with a lot of things and I got super into this one series I really related to. I guess I had an edgy phase where I just hated everyone around me and wanted to be myself. Hey, kind of like Yuri. Oh, Monika. Sorry. That's completely wrong, so... It's still cool that you both really found your thing. They're almost like opposites. But it sounds like they helped you a lot through hard times. Kinda like Yuri. She got her back. You know it! Wow, what the heck? Is that book even bigger than the last one you were reading? It's technically slightly longer, but not by very much. How high do you think it would go if you stacked up the whole series? Natsuki estimates by holding her hand high above her head, sizing up an imaginary stack. I should get one of those mangas that's like 50 volumes long so I can say I've read more than you. Not that I had the money for that. Please, that would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. I know, I was just joking. I can never actually read books like yours. It's too boring for me. Yuri shoots a glare at Natsuki. Damn, girl. It's not boring. Chill. I said for me, not for you. I can have my own opinion. I just think it's too convoluted. Damn, that's a big word for Natsuki. Convoluted. Sayori, are those from the floor? She's eating fucking cookies off the floor. Damn. Gross. Also, wash your hands before touching any of my books. But my hands aren't dirty. Natsuki sounds more like Mr. Brogeth now. Just do it. The oils are there even if you can't see them. Fine. Sayori trots out the door and Natsuki follows. Yuri, you look a little upset. What kind of nerve does she have to call my hobby boring? Well, she did correct herself. Hardly. She was so condescending. Don't mind if she thinks it's not for her. I already understood that it's not for everyone. Jesus. Like, she's, like, pretty much blind to her own, words, I think. Yuri over here projecting. Exactly. Me and Sayori could eat cookies off the floor together. You could, yeah. But she knows well how much these mean to me. So how about just leaving me alone instead of needlessly telling me the things you hate about it? I'm sorry, Yuri. You may be right. This won't be the last time people have strong feelings about what they like and don't like, especially in a literature club. So I should figure out how to mediate discussions to keep them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the level of creativity in your books, and so your ability to get through them so quickly. That sounds like me. Sounds cool, Yuri. How about you shut the fuck up about her manga then? Thank you. Okay, well this is something that I'll have to think about and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki find some common ground with you. Common ground isn't necessary. I just wish to be respected. That then. Either way, I'll do my best. I'm skeptical when it comes to Natsuki. I trust you, Monica, but I'm skeptical. Damn. Damn, Yuri. Okay, everyone. We have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Literature Club is a place where we get to share things that we're really passionate about. That also means we should be mindful about how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn our differences into a positive energy for each other. Are you being a little dramatic about this? This is important to me. Well, sorry, I just feel like I'm being accused or something. No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm sorry if I came off that way. But our conversation yesterday made me reflect on the power of language, and I thought it would be a good topic for the Literature Club, don't you think? I'm sure we're going to have differences in opinion a lot, so I need to make sure that we're prepared to keep a positive atmosphere in the club. If you say so. Sure. The cool thing about language is that it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same idea or emotion. We have a lot of control over how we want the other person to feel when receiving our thought. This goes for poetry, narratives, casual conversation, basically anything. For example, Sayori, what's your favorite food? I have them organized by category. Should I start with snacks, or do you mean full meals? Should I include breakfast? Jesus Christ, Sayori. Oh, jeez. Okay, how about your favorite fruit? That's easy. Cherries. Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty. What? Cherries are delicious! Whoa, that's a pretty strong reaction. Well, I just don't understand how somebody could think cherries are nasty. How does it make you feel? I don't know, sad? Defensive, maybe? Yeah, I got defensive. See, the reason you had such a strong reaction wasn't just because I don't like cherries. It's because you felt like your opinion was under attack. But that's weird, right? Something like taste is completely subjective. But when I say something like, I think cherries taste nasty, I'm using objective language. I'm challenging Sayori's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which is that cherries are nasty. Wait, hold on. How is that objective when you just said it was only your own opinion? It has to do with the way our brains interpret the words. You're talking about the reality of the cherries, not your feelings about them. Like, Sayori, let's rewind for a second and pretend I didn't tell you that I think cherries are nasty. Good! So what if instead of that, I said like, I've tried cherries and they're not for me. That's not the kind of flavor I enjoy. Well, that's fine. As long as you don't call them nasty. Nasty is a nasty word. Okay, so cherries was kind of a weird example, but I think that gets the point across. This time around, instead of talking about the cherries, I just talked about my feelings, and Sayori didn't get defensive. So instead of clashing with each other, it's like we received an invitation to talk about our differences. Momika the philosopher. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm not going to quiz you or something. I know that. I was just... Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. You could do whatever you like. But does anyone have any thoughts so far? Yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't have to pull on my language to a filter just to protect someone's feelings. Well, you don't have to. The choice is yours on how you want to come across to other people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool to help you turn your differences into a positive experience rather than an argument. Right, Sayori? Whatever you say, cherry hater! Oh, come on. Sayori, I actually like cherries. I was just saying that to demonstrate. What the heck? I've been duped! I'm sorry, Sayori. I'll make it up to you later. Until she meets a boy. Exactly. How about a cherry sundae? You are welcome to dupe me anytime, my beloved president. Buying your people's loyalty. How deplorable. Oh, like you would turn down a free sundae, Yuri. You were certainly a fan of those cupcakes I brought in the other week. I was reading and not keeping track of them. Oh, that's enough. We're getting off topic. Damn straight they're getting off topic. So now that we have the gist of it, how about we try with something more relevant to the club? Like manga, right? Let's try to have a productive discussion about our differences in opinion. Yuri, do you want to start? Well, I'd rather not, no. How come? Well, because I don't see how anything productive can come from that. It's just going to start a fight. No, it'll be fine. That's why I'm here to moderate. Let's just have a calm and rational discussion. Yeah, give me a little more credit. I'm not a child. You don't have to coddle my feelings. I always think it's more respectable just to speak your mind. Respectable. Yuri's expression changes in that word. As Monica recalls, being respectful was the crux of the matter for Yuri. Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like, it's fine. I have nothing against anyone personally. You're entitled to enjoy whatever it is you like. I just prefer more depth and nuance in my reading material. I look for stories that are imaginative and sophisticated beyond the surface level. Oh, well, that's just a misunderstanding then. I thought you were going to say manga's for children or something. Like, I don't hear enough of that. But there's plenty of deep manga. I'm not clueless about manga. I've read my own fair share when I was younger. What? Are you serious? How come you never told me? Because I'm past that point in my life, and I really prefer not to revisit it. I prefer more mature things now. Excuse me? Okay, hold on. Can I jump in here? Let's try to keep things subjective. Because if you imply that a manga is immature, then aren't you implying that someone is immature for being into it? Oh, God. Well, maybe it's immature to judge people for having different tastes than you. Natsuki. Nobody's immature! I've read Natsuki's manga and Yuri's fantasy, and I love them both in their own way. Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring. Boring isn't subjective. Okay, it bores me. That's subjective. But, the thing about... This is ridiculous. You see why I didn't want to participate in this? I knew it was just going to make people upset. I am not upset. Like I said, I don't care what other people think. But I always got the impression that you secretly looked down upon me, so I'm glad my suspicions were confirmed. It's not true at all. You're making assumptions. You can't blame me for getting defensive when nobody ever has the least bit of respect for things that I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me for just being myself and trying to mind my own business. What? Have you looked in a mirror? Tell me again about respect that they're calling all my interests immature. You can't. Please stop. Please. You don't mean the things you're saying right now. Let's just be friends. It's true, they don't. I didn't mean for this to happen. Well, it did. So please don't invite yourself to try and solve other people's problems next time, okay? Damn. Yuri's piercing words send the club room into a choked silence as she gathers her things. She leaves. Holy crap. I've never heard her sound like that before. She must be so pissed. Well, you weren't very nice either, so... I was just saying. How did this happen? It's my fault. Yuri wasn't wrong. I shouldn't have tried to moderate on a conflict when I know how bad I am at dealing with conflicts. It was a really stupid thing for me to do. It's nobody's fault, and it wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess we're sensitive about the things we really love. Based. Honestly, she kind of brought it upon herself. Like I said, I don't care if you're into manga, but if you actually look down on other people for it, it's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not about sugarcoating things. It's just about recognizing and understanding our differences. Talking about Natsuki, yeah. Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down on me. It has nothing to do with her word choice or anything like that. So I see what you're trying to do, but I really think the problem here is her, not just like the way we talk to each other, right? I mean, Yuri isn't like that. She's a lot sweeter than you're giving her credit for. I'm sure she'll be reflecting on this. I actually think everyone should. It'll be fine. I'll figure something out. Wow, I'm just like saying that instinctively. I'm just setting myself up to cause more problems. This wasn't your fault, Monica. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. If you ask me, it's good that the truth finally came out, because I can just move on now. But, it's fine. I promise. Let's just get our mind off of this, okay? In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga without having to worry about feeding Yuri's superiority complex. Don't be mean. I'll talk or read manga whenever you want, but don't be mean to my friends, okay? Sorry. I'm just bitter. Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but I at least know that we're all good people and don't want to hurt each other. This will be a learning experience. Monica says that, but her uneasiness is given away by how much she has to force the reassuring tone in her voice. This was bound to happen eventually. Natsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other the least out of anyone, and this is the reason. As Sayori and Natsuki proceed to distract themselves with manga, Monica sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. Will the club really have to just come to terms with the fact that some members will be incompatible with each other? Monica desperately doesn't want to admit that, and she knows Sayori doesn't either. But for once, a solution doesn't seem to be in sight. Ah, snap. Reflection, part 2, and there's only 3 more. A new day arrives. Sayori arrives at the club room earlier than usual. That is, not late. As she enters, it appears to be empty still. So, she sits down at a desk and pulls out a sheet of paper, primed to jot down her thoughts. Sayori has made a habit of scribbling her thoughts and feelings onto paper whenever possible, as it tends to serve her as best inspiration for poetry. My heart feels vacant because the ship sailed away. Yo. Ah! Natsuki! Natsuki pokes her head out from behind the closet door. Sorry if I didn't mean to scare you, but it would have been a lot more awkward if I didn't say anything. I doubt you want me listening in on your poetry things. Yeah. Thanks for realizing that. Should I let you finish up then? Oh no, it wasn't, I just do whatever it's convenient. You're not interrupting. Where's Monica, by the way? Oh, she's out in the hallway. Huh? Why? Well, just in case she runs into Yuri. Sometimes Yuri is too nervous to come into the club room by herself, so... Ow. Geez, does Yuri really let things bother her for that long? She can't control her feelings. For some people, it's really hard to cope when you get a bad thought in your head. Maybe you can distract yourself for a little while, but as soon as it's just you and your thoughts again, it comes back. I just want to have a normal club meeting. It's a lot easier to pretend like it never happened if we all just ignore it and move on. Damn, Husky's like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to be bothered by this. It's just so stupid. Her opinion of me doesn't matter anyway. Besides, it makes me feel really guilty, and I hate that too. It's okay to have feelings. That doesn't make you weak. Natsuki's like, the fuck it doesn't. Let's figure this out together. Fine. Only because you're good at this stuff. Let's try to come up with a happy scene. Maybe that will help us understand where your bad feelings are coming from. Well, I was happy the way things were before we had to have that conversation yesterday. What part of the conversation made you upset? Was it Yuri being mean about the manga? Maybe. I doubt it though. Because my friends and other people make fun of manga all the time. But I just brush it off and ignore them. Something about it really got to me this time. And I hate that I'm letting that happen. Is it because it came from Yuri? No, why would that matter? I mean... Well, maybe. I hate that she thinks she's so much better than me just because she likes to pretend to be all sophisticated. Yeah, that's what it is. At least other people decide they don't like me, or manga, or whatever. But Yuri acts like she's too good to even give it a chance. I'm sorry. Everyone deserves a chance. Yeah, exactly. But you give Yuri's books a chance? Ha! After this? Obviously not. What about before this? Well, I would until I got bored, which wouldn't take very long. But if you actually keep an open mind, then it's not hard to realize that a story can be deep and meaningful without being needlessly complicated. I see. But you know, I like Yuri's books. Yeah, but you like manga more, right? Sayori shakes her head. I like them both. I like them in different ways, but I like them both. I mean, the manga, it's really honest and fun and easy to just let go with. And the fantasy has a lot to interpret and uncover, and it's really rewarding to have some good quiet time together with it. But the most important thing is that both the manga and the fantasy are true to themselves. So, I love them both. God, she's like talking about the person. I love that. And I think there's room for both of them to be in the same club together. And I just feel like maybe they have more in common than you would think. Natsuki's thinking about it. How do you get along with everyone so well? I always get into fights with people. Like first it was with Monica when I was new to the club. And then it was you, and now it's Jerry because you're so fucking abrasive, Natsuki. It's because you're a tsundere. Tsundere. And I'm always like, oh, that person is such a jerk. And if they just realize that, then we can at least get along. But nobody else has this problem. I just keep running away from the reality that everyone's just a jerk to me because nobody likes me. And I don't know why, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I hate it. Natsuki. Sayori puts a comforting hand on Natsuki's shoulder. You're a wonderful person. You deserve to be loved as much as everyone else. Everyone has different ways they like to communicate, you know? And sometimes it makes it harder for us to understand each other. I think that sometimes we get lucky and we make friends who are really good at the same kind of communication. And it feels like you magically connect with them. But other times, even if both people are really nice, it's easy for them to misunderstand each other or to get the communication wrong. It's something that Yuri struggles with a lot too. It can be really hard. It takes a lot of reflection and self-awareness and vulnerability. I'm bad at that one. Vulnerability. I always have to be the strongest. What do you mean? Tell me about that part of you. Well, it sounds stupid, but I'm really used to people being mean to me. Like my friends and I guess my dad when I don't get good grades or even stupid things like if my room isn't clean. So what am I to do? Cry about it? If I let myself get upset, then it's just letting them win. I'm better than that. I'm better than all of them. So things always have to be everyone else's fault. It feels like if something goes wrong and there's even a tiny hint that it might be my fault, then I just get really angry and I find ways to blame everything else instead. Do you see yourself as better than Yuri? If I said that, then I would just sound really full of myself. No. Our thoughts and our feelings are two different things. Even if we don't like our feelings, we have to understand them if we want to learn more about them. Themselves. That's a part of vulnerability, you know? Accepting that we have feelings that we don't like. I hate that. My feelings make me a bad person. Poor Natsuki. Because my feelings just want to tell me that I'm so much better than her. That she's a judgmental know-it-all who's stuck in her edgy phase, and I'm just way above that garbage. But I'm terrible for feeling that way. You're not terrible. You're not your feelings. But you are not your feelings. Say that to yourself, out loud. Out loud, Bella. Say it out loud. Fine. I am not my feelings. The way I like to picture it is that those feelings are like your roommate. You live in the same house, and you gotta see each other every day. And even if you can ignore each other most of the time, you're gonna run into each other every now and then, and it's gonna make you feel like poop. So the other option is to get to know each other. You can communicate and learn from each other, and maybe even help each other change for the better. Does that help you understand? How do you know so much about this stuff? So it's like I'm secretly a psychologist. I just have a roommate and that can be really hard to get along with. Call it depression. Depression? But you're like the happiest person I know. I am not my feelings. I want to be a good person like you. Oh, you little sweetheart. We're all good people. You and Yuri and Monica. And I think Yuri will eventually learn that about you. Natsuki remains silent, feeling a little overwhelmed. Despite Sayori's kind reassurance, a complicated mixture of pain and sadness seems to fill her, as though flowing from a wound inside her. Was it a result of her vulnerability? No, it wasn't as though she was inflicted a wound after becoming vulnerable. It was as though she began to rediscover an old wound, one that cannot simply be bandaged and left alone any longer. Yuri, what are you doing all the way over here? I was looking for you. Please don't yell at me. Oh, I'm not gonna yell at you. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. It was unfair of me to put everyone on the spot like that. Next time, I won't just try to jump in and solve everyone's problems. I guess it's a bad habit of mine. You're not mad at me? I thought you were the one mad at me. So awful yesterday. Yuri curls up, recalling the details of the argument. Can't even have a normal conversation without saying something wrong and making everyone upset. Hold on, that's not what happened at all. Let's talk about this, okay? Yuri pauses for a second, then manages a nod. Monica takes a seat next to her on the staircase. I'm having a lot of negative thought patterns, and I can't get away from them. What kinds of negative thought patterns? Like everyone hates me, especially Natsuki. Oh, that's terrible. I don't think Natsuki hates you. How do you know? Well, because Monica thinks back to the time that she herself found herself in an altercation with Natsuki, and how a display of maturity from Monica was enough for Natsuki to reevaluate her own feelings as well. I think Natsuki is just naturally defensive. I think she acts mean when she feels the need to protect herself. But you know, she's really not a bad person. In fact, I think she can be really thoughtful and considerate. Hello, Yuri. The reads books. Hello, Yuri. She just, well, I guess the way it works is when she wants to receive some degree of kindness first before she feels comfortable returning it. Oh, but that means the burden is on me. And I don't know how to say things that make people like me. Every time I open my mouth, Yuri shakes her head at herself and tugs on her hair. It's okay, Yuri. You don't need to beat yourself up. I think anyone would like you if they had the chance to get to know you. Right, we're only missing a Natsuki visit. Well, unfortunately, the opposite is true. That's why I'm not talkative anymore in the first place. Because everyone used to think I was weird and talk about me behind my back. That's just what happens when I draw attention to myself. Natsuki even said she found it more respectable when people speak their mind. So I did, and then she hated me anyway. It was enough to confirm my fears. But Sayori and I like you, and we've gotten to know you a lot by now, right? Yuri doesn't seem to have a response. Hey, what do you think of Natsuki? I don't think about her. That's not what I meant, really. I was just wondering if you had an opinion of her. I do? What is it? Natsuki seems to bring out the worst in me, and I feel really ashamed of it. I like to think of myself as a fairly sophisticated person, so for someone to just treat me like I'm inferior despite my tastes, that's just the worst kind of insult coming from someone like her, and it just makes me think bad things about her. Damn, the projection. It's hard. But everyone else seems to like her so. The only explanation is that it's me who's doing something wrong again, and my feelings about her are wrong. Am I wrong to get upset over something so childish and inconsequential? No, Yuri, feelings are never wrong. Well, they're not right. That's the thing. Feelings are never right or wrong, you know? They're just a state of being that we don't always have control over. But that doesn't mean they have to control us. I feel like that's something I learned around when I first started the club. We can hate ourselves for feeling a certain way about things. Or we can, just acknowledge that they exist and try to understand them better. I can never be mad at you for just feeling a certain way. It's about how you handle them. And I think working through feelings is a great opportunity for teamwork. Yuri wears a dejected expression. You make it sound so easy. You're so mature. And so good with people. I feel like such a child in comparison. Oh, Yuri. I'm far from perfect. But these are learned skills. They didn't come naturally to me either. It's really hard to reflect on yourself and separate your feelings from your thoughts. I just want to be a good person. Well, I think it takes a good person to get this far. That's not good enough. I want to be able to communicate it to her. Communicate what? How I feel. How it makes me feel frustrated and upset when she's so negative and dismissive of the things that mean so much to me. And how it reminds me of me. Dang! Self-realization. Because I know what it's like to feel misunderstood and angry at everyone. I know that telling yourself you're better than everyone else is just a defense mechanism. We're just people. We're fragile and unstable. But I'm just tired of getting in the way. Can't stand it when the peace is disturbed like this. Yeah, you can't focus on your reading when the peace is disturbed, right? Because the literature club should be happy for everyone. Aw, Yuri. Monica looks at Yuri in adoration. I feel like Sayori must be rubbing off on me because I really want to hug you now. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. No, well, if you wanted to, I really wouldn't mind, so... Monica pulls Yuri into a short embrace. You're so gentle. And I love when you communicate your feelings. I feel lucky to get to see that side of you. And I'm sure Natsuki will too. I'm going to write her a letter. Oh, a letter? What a great idea! Just because I'm not good at talking, especially under pressure. I always let my feelings get the best of me, and I forget to say all the important things, and things I don't mean. Well, I think a letter would be wonderful. Such a nice way to communicate. Yuri's face hardens with determination. People don't naturally gravitate towards me, like they do for you and Sayori. My personality just isn't suited for that, and I wouldn't want it to be. But something I've learned is that friendships don't always just magically appear out of thin air. For instance, I would never have seen myself making friends with someone like Sayori. We're opposite in a lot of ways, but I'm friends with her because she puts so much effort into understanding me so that we can get along. I think it was the same way with you. You both gave me a lot of time and patience, and I wonder if she feels the same way. Natsuki? Yuri nods. I always thought that if I wanted to make more friends, it had to be someone that I'm not. But there's a type of person or a magical formula that I have to follow in order to make someone like me. And that's just like me to think that. I'm always so occupied with myself that I fail to understand other people. Yuri shakes her head. Friendship happens when you think about the other person. When you offer time and effort to understand them and respect them and trust that they also want to be a good person. That's what I learned through my observations in the literature club. Observations? Monica is caught by surprise. Yuri has always kept to herself so much that it's unusual to hear her suddenly talking about the club like this. But Yuri gently smiles to herself. You always let me listen to your thoughts about people. Sayori, too. And it makes me happy because I learn a lot of things. That's so sweet. I had no idea it meant that much to you. Monica never thought much of it. But in the past weeks, Yuri always seemed to be especially attentive when it came to the problems and concerns of others. Always wanting to listen and learn more about her friends in the club. Yuri's sweet. She just needs to not be an ass. It's true, Sayori and Monica are naturally more comfortable with other people and can more easily work through situations of conflict. But that doesn't make them better people. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses and the capacity to improve. And the first step towards improving oneself is reflection and self-awareness. It's something that Yuri never gave herself enough credit for, but that Monica can recognize as an incredible trait. And with that, her confidence in the club is restored. A very shy girl with long, pretty hair is wandering the bustling lunchtime hallways, her fists pressed into her collarbone. When she finds the literature club president's classroom, she stands at the door, glancing all around her before peering inside. Monica is sitting and chatting with a group of unknown friends. Yeah, as expected. This was a bad idea after all. Suddenly, Monica glances toward the door, making the girl panic and duck out of sight. Before she can regain composure and decide for sure to leave, the classroom door gently opens. Yuri, what a surprise to see you during lunch. Yuri squeaks a response. Please help me. What? Is everything okay? Sorry, I had to sniffle. Yuri shakes her head. I don't know how to write letters. Thank goodness, I thought there was some kind of emergency. Monica briefly glances over her shoulder at her other friends. Do you want some help? We can go find an empty classroom or something. Is that okay? I feel bad taking away from your friends. It's totally fine, I promise. We weren't really doing anything else. One sec. Monica trots back into her classroom, says something like, I gotta go, to her friends, and then grabs the pen off her desk before returning to Yuri. Okay, let's find somewhere quiet. Yuri nods and follows Monica as the two of them set off. How are you today? Huh? Me? Well, yes. Oh gosh, sorry, I was just caught off guard. I'm doing well today, just tired. I never seem to get enough sleep during the week. How come? Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just easily distracted. I get really sucked into things and start neglecting the time. Me too. I do that too. Hey, this classroom is empty. Let's go in here. After peering inside, Monica opens the classroom door and the two of them enter. Yuri's moment of relaxation ends. She watches Monica pull two chairs up to the same desk and obeys as Monica beckons her to take a seat. She stares down at the empty desk. Are you nervous? I don't want to do this. We don't have to. We can come up with something else. Yuri shakes her head. It's my chance to do something good. I need to take initiative. Gosh, you must be really determined. I know how hard it is for you to step out of your comfort zone. I'll be sure to encourage you. Yuri pushes through her anxiety and grabs a handful of lined paper from her notebook. Then she picks up her pen. Aw, look! Hey, you're left-handed. That's neat. Yeah. Now I don't have to worry about bumping your arm. Monica playfully rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. Sorry, I'm just being silly, I guess. Anyway, how about we start by listing the different things that you want to say to her? Yuri thinks. I feel embarrassed all of a sudden. Aw, it's okay. Gosh, I would feel probably embarrassed for other reasons, but... How about some of the things you said to me yesterday? But... Never mind, I guess I'll try. Yuri thinks for a moment longer, her tension evident. Then she writes the word reflection. This is about my reflection on our behavior. The key question is why we act like this toward each other, but have been able to separately be friends with Sayori and Monica. That's me! Yes, it is. So, Yuri thinks, I've been able to befriend the two of you because you've taken the time to understand my needs and respect my interests. It's so cute. I love these little scenes. So cute. The same goes for Natsuki, too. We started off as pretty hostile to each other because I was so worried about getting what I wanted, but she just wanted to be respected more than anything else. Once I stopped making it all about me, she was able to do the same. I want to do that too. So what kind of things do you want to do for her? I want to do the same things for her that I like to receive. I like when people respond positively to the things I talk about, and not just brush me off. I like it when my feelings are taken seriously. And I like when you and Sayori trust that I want to be a good person, even when I'm not doing a good job at it. Let's write those things down. Okay. Yuri writes some things down. I think the most important thing to remember here is that Natsuki is feeling vulnerable. So we make sure that the letter puts her first. It's hard when your feelings are hurt, but it never helps to just tell someone all the things that they're doing wrong. I think first you have to make sure that they know you're ready to respect them and listen to them, and admit the things you feel you could do better. And then, finally, you ask what you would like in return. How does that sound for the structure? It could be 3 paragraphs, 1 for each of those points. I like that. My thoughts were so disorganized. I had no idea how to come up with any kind of structure. You're so amazing at these things. Oh, stop. You've done so much more than I have, you know? You spend so much time reflecting on being open-minded. That's the hardest thing for anyone to do. All I'm doing is helping you put it on a piece of paper. So I think you're the amazing one. Monica gives Yuri's hand a quick squeeze. But as she lets go, she's caught by surprise when Yuri curls her fingers to hook Monica's hand in place. Aw, they holding hands now. For a while, they sit like that in silence, save for the occasional scratching of Yuri's pen against the paper. Yesterday you told me something that I'm thinking about a lot. What was that? Think about how feelings aren't right or wrong, and how they're just a state of being we need to come to terms with. It made me think about how a person's behavior isn't always just how they decide to be. It also made up their past experiences and their insecurities. I think that helps me see other people as actual people, rather than insignificant side characters who are out to get me somehow. Is that how you felt about Natsuki? Yuri nods. But in reality, everyone is always trying their best, and everyone who wants to be happy. Monica peers over at Yuri's paper, but to her surprise, Yuri pulls it in closer, partially covering it with her arm. I'm gonna have to sneeze, I think. I have to be able to read it to help out, you know. It's okay. There we go. My thoughts are a lot more organized now after being able to talk to you about it. Now that I'm actually putting it on paper, I realize I really prefer others not to read it. Yuri laughs softly to herself, a rare expression. I'm kind of glad to hear that, actually. I somehow keep finding ways to butt into this whole thing. I've done enough damage, but it's always been so wonderful talking about this. I mean, I always thought you were really smart, but Yuri smiles. I will always be terrible at these things. People are just so incomprehensible to me. I'll never get the hang of being one. But listening to you so much has helped me make sense of some things. So just don't call it damage, please? Monica gives Yuri a gentle smile. I can't believe I came to this club looking for a fantasy geek, and all I got was real friends who value me. Is that a joke? Of course it is. I still can't tell with you. Maybe she's just like me for real too. Everybody's like us. Everybody's like you. Sorry. No, I love it. Please never change. As you wish. So stinking cute. I'm just like an assortment of high school girls. That's true, but no, more like college girls because you basic white bitch likes Fireball. You're like a basic white college bitch. Yuri glances at the clock. We're almost out of time. Will you be able to finish? Before the end of the day, probably. But I don't want to come to the club the same day that Natsuki reads it. I'm too shy. I can give it to her instead if you'd like. Yuri nods. As long as you promise not to read it. Of course, I promise. Thank you. Yuri exhales and the two stand up. I'll message you when it's ready. Monica nods. Good luck. I'm here if you need me. Yuri returns a nod and the two depart. Binary data in VM2. I made some new headway with VM2. Don't get too excited. It's still impossible to establish any kind of stable connection. But it occurred to me that I could at least run a memory dump through some pattern analysis routines to see if we could decipher any digital data from their VM. I didn't want to hog all the server time on a hunch, but I have some preliminary results that indicate the presence of binary computer systems. Based on this, I'm going to schedule 3 days of server time next week to isolate any chunks of memory that appear to be binary data. If successful, we'll definitely be able to find some encoded text and get our first tiny glimpse of VM2. Don't mind me though, just keep going nuts on VM1 and hopefully I'll have more to share soon. Alright, I'm going to take a 10-minute break. Boys can drink Fireball too now, that's basic white bitch thing. Just kidding. I will be right back in about 10 minutes. So I will leave you all with my little advertisement. I'll be right back. Are you, or a dragon you know, suffering from an understocked gold hoard? On April 5th, 1933, President Roosevelt ordered all gold over a small value be turned in exchange for smelly, dirty, paper human money. On June 5th, 1933, the United States officially went off the gold standard. Do you know what happens when a dragon's breath touches paper money? Dragons have had to resort to desperate measures, assuming human-like forms, depositing this paper money into human banks, and working jobs. Gone are the days you could burn down a castle and take its treasure. Many dragons are working on rebuilding their stocks of gold, but the exchange rate from feeble green paper to beautiful golden metal is very challenging. Please consider supporting Dragon streamers with a donation, Twitch subscription, or art commission. Your donations will go toward gold bars and coins, which will eventually allow your dragon to sleep on a bed of gold again. It's the only way for a dragon to get a proper rest. Please call the 1-800 number below on your screen to make a donation today. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and compassion. Are you, or a dragon you know, suffering from an understocked gold hoard? On April 5th, 1933, President Roosevelt ordered all gold over a small value be turned in exchange for smelly, dirty, paper human money. On June 5th, 1933, the United States officially went off the gold standard. Do you know what happens when a dragon's breath touches paper money? Dragons have had to resort to desperate measures, assuming human-like forms, depositing this paper money into human banks, and working jobs. Gone are the days you could burn down a castle and take its treasure. Many dragons are working on rebuilding their stocks of gold, but the exchange rate from feeble green paper to beautiful golden metal is very challenging. Please consider supporting Dragon streamers with a donation, Twitch subscription, or art commission. Your donations will go toward gold bars and coins, which will eventually allow your dragon to sleep on a bed of gold again. It's the only way for a dragon to get a proper rest. Please call the 1-800 number below on your screen to make a donation today. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and compassion. Are you, or a dragon you know, suffering from an understocked gold hoard? On April 5th, 1933, President Roosevelt ordered all gold over a small value be turned in and exchanged for smelly, dirty, paper human money. On June 5, 1933, the United States officially went off the gold standard. Do you know what happens when a dragon's breath touches paper money? Dragons have had to resort to desperate measures, assuming human-like forms, depositing this paper money into human banks, and working jobs. Gone are the days you could burn down a castle and take its treasure. Many dragons are working on rebuilding their stocks of gold, but the exchange rate from feeble green paper to beautiful golden metal is very challenging. Please consider supporting Dragon streamers with a donation, Twitch subscription, or art commission. Your donations will go toward gold bars and coins, which will eventually allow your dragon to sleep on a bed of gold again. It's the only way for a dragon to get a proper rest. Please call the 1-800 number below on your screen to make a donation today. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and compassion. Are you, or a dragon you know, suffering from an understocked gold hoard? On April 5th, 1933, President Roosevelt ordered all gold over a small value be turned in and exchanged for smelly, dirty, paper human money. On June 5th, 1933, the United States officially went off the gold standard. Do you know what happens when a dragon's breath touches paper money? Dragons have had to resort to desperate measures, assuming human-like forms, depositing this paper money into human banks, and working jobs. Gone are the days you could burn down a castle and take its treasure. Many dragons are working on rebuilding their stocks of gold, but the exchange rate from feeble green paper to beautiful golden metal is very challenging. Please consider supporting Dragon streamers with a donation, Twitch subscription, or art commission. Your donations will go toward gold bars and coins, which will eventually allow your dragon to sleep on a bed of gold again. It's the only way for a dragon to get a proper rest. Please call the 1-800 number below on your screen to make a donation today. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and compassion. Are you, or a dragon you know, suffering from an understocked gold hoard? On April 5th, 1933, President Roosevelt ordered all gold over a small value be turned in and exchanged for smelly, dirty, paper human money. On June 5th, 1933, the United States officially went off the gold standard. Do you know what happens when a dragon's breath touches paper money? Dragons have had to resort to desperate measures, assuming human-like forms, depositing this paper money into human banks, and working jobs. Gone are the days you could burn down a castle and take its treasure. Many dragons are working on rebuilding their stocks of gold, but the exchange rate from feeble green paper to beautiful golden metal is very challenging. Please consider supporting Dragon streamers with a donation, Twitch subscription, or art commission. Your donations
will go toward gold bars and coins, which will eventually allow your dragon to sleep on a bed of gold again. It's the only way for a dragon to get a proper rest. Please call the 1-800 number below on your screen to make a donation today. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and compassion. Are you, or a dragon you know, suffering from an understocked gold hoard? On April 5th, 1933, President Roosevelt ordered all gold over a small value be turned in and exchanged for smelly, dirty, paper human money. On June 5th, 1933, the United States officially went off the gold standard. Do you know what happens when a dragon's breath touches paper money? Dragons have had to resort to desperate measures, assuming human-like forms, depositing this paper money into human banks, and working jobs. Gone are the days you could burn down a castle and take its treasure. Many dragons are working on rebuilding their stocks of gold, but the exchange rate from feeble green paper to beautiful golden metal is very challenging. Please consider supporting dragon streamers with a donation, Twitch subscription, or art commission. Go toward gold.
All right, we back. All right, we got 2 more side stories to go through. It's called Self-Love. This looks like, again, it's between Natsuki and Yuri. It's only been 1 day since Yuri's letter was delivered to Natsuki with Monika's help. Because Yuri chose not to attend the club meeting that day, she and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting on the hours until she will need to face the outcome of her efforts, whether good or bad. And because the passing of students was making her feel even more anxious, Yuri picked out the most secluded spot she could to spend her lunch. Because the spare case is under maintenance, no student will have any reason for coming here. It's such a relaxing feeling to have a moment of solitude in the middle of a frantic school day. Oh, it's Natsuki! Eve, what are you doing here? I just... Yuri grips her book with enough force to wrinkle the pages beneath the pressure of her thumbs. Well, what are you doing here? I just came to get a drink from the vending machine. The other one is out of the drink I like. Yuri notices Natsuki fidgeting with a few coins between her fingers. She nods, avoiding eye contact. Natsuki, also looking away, shuffles over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seemed to reverberate through the entire stairwell. After far too long, she finally receives her beverage, which she then fidgets with in place of the coins. It's some kind of iced tea, but instead of leaving right away, Natsuki just stands in place. She glances all around her. It's like way too quiet back here. It's creepy. I mean, that's not what I meant, really. I mean, it's totally cool that it's your thing or whatever. Like, I could see how it suits you, so... Not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean that, either. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. This seems like a good idea. It's okay. Everything is okay. Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. Seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits herself down near Yuri. Well, I can leave if you want. Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki twists the cap off her drink and takes a sip. Now they're gonna sit in silence. Despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything more. Yuri continues to read, or at least pretends to. And the two just sit there for a long time. The tension seems to fade a little bit as time passes. Even without any words, this seems to mean at least something, though it's not clear what that may be. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. Natsuki is the first to stand up with her empty drink bottle. Are you coming today? To the club. Yuri nods. I'm sorry for being so awkward. I'm really bad at talking about this stuff. I just can't for some reason. I don't know why. But I want to, eventually. There's no rush. I promise. Thanks. Aww. Nah. It's the next day. Natsuki appears from around the corner and steps up to the vending machine, glancing at Yuri as she does so. Today, she seems to be holding some kind of book as well. Oh, you're here again. Well, I just came here to read this because there aren't any people around here. Oh, I thought you didn't like how quiet it was. Hello, D-Cruz. Well, I don't, but there's no people here. I see. Natsuki sits down. The mood feels much different today than it did yesterday. Yeah, I'm on the last two side stories. After yesterday's lunch and the club meeting that followed, Natsuki and Yuri are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other again. Although Yuri's letter is still lingering in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to detour around it. But it's okay that I'm here? Yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't feel like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since, they all just assumed I stopped reading manga after I joined the literature club. Not that I'm trying to hide it from them exactly. But I just don't want it to come up again now after I waited so long for this new volume to come out. Literally months at this point. You don't have other friends who are into manga? Not unless online friends count. You drew Natsuki today and have a Sayori backpack for a Comic-Con soon? Nice. And Sayori, but that's different because she's not exactly into it. She just likes it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Honestly, you're lucky that the books you're into at least just look like books, so you don't have to feel like everyone is constantly judging you by what you're reading. That would be so awful, especially since I already hate attention so much. Well, it's a good thing I have thick skin, I guess. Hello, Sunny. Are you returned? By the way, I would totally recommend finding some friends online if you haven't already. If you're like me and have no one to share your hobbies with, do not touch my straw. Oh, I have online friends. Since middle school, actually, I was especially desperate back then. It's somewhat embarrassing to reminisce about those days. Sometimes I feel like the me from a few years ago would have benefited from a good smack across the face. Damn. Oh, whatever. We're all just stupid kids back then anyway. Some of the fanfics I wrote, thank God I used a pseudonym. But I liked it at the time. I got a lot of fulfillment out of it. And plus, I can look back and say with confidence that I've become a better person since then. So I don't think I would change anything. I wonder if a few years from now, we'll think the same thing about our current selves. Probably. That doesn't make you feel uncomfortable? No, of course not. I don't care what other people think of me, especially someone who doesn't even exist yet. Alright, here. Natsuki raises her hand to her face and forcibly slaps her own cheek. Oh my goodness. Sunny. Sayori backpack, excellent taste. It's possession. It's cat possession once more. That's me from the future coming to terms with me right now. Also, ow, I didn't mean to do it that hard. Yuri doesn't seem to react, but then, to Natsuki's surprise, Yuri shyly looks the other way before lifting her arm and doing the same thing to herself, loudly smacking her cheek. Leave my straw alone! She turns and stares into her lap, but is unable to hide a smile, as though it was a really funny joke. At least she's not stabbing herself, though. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't know you had it in you. I don't. I don't even know why you did that. Maybe I thought it would be funny. Sorry, I keep distracting you. You said you were looking forward to reading, but I keep going on about all this nonsense. I'll let you get back to your reading. Oh, right. Natsuki came to see Yuri. Yeah, I guess I'll do that then. The conversation ends quickly and Natsuki opens her book. The two read silently for the remainder of the lunch hour. But the whole time, Yuri feels distracted by a twist of regret after having so abruptly forced the end of their conversation. Yuri's getting better at this stuff. Very slowly. You're back. Yeah, I'm here to lay low again. Another day has passed. During lunchtime, Natsuki finds herself having wandered to the stairwell once more. Hey, did you buy that? Natsuki quickly notices a bottle of iced tea on the staircase where she normally sits. Yuri nods, avoiding eye contact. Oh my god! Natsuki is a good person for her to learn those things with. Exactly. I think they're both learning from each other. What, like, for me? But you didn't know I was coming here today. What if I didn't show up? Well, I would have checked it myself, I guess. It was a stupid thing to do. No, it wasn't stupid. I just thought, never mind. What I meant to say is thank you. And that it's a really nice gesture. It's okay if you don't feel that way. I do. It was the other things that I didn't mean. I swear. Please believe me. Yuri pauses, then nods. Talking is hard. I get it wrong a lot too. So I believe you. Probably going to ship them anyway. I don't know. But you could ship Sayori and Natsuki though. Natsuki exhales in relief. She then sits down next to Yuri and takes the drink. Knowing Yuri, she was probably overthinking it so much that Natsuki's tepid response filled her with self-doubt. I'll do something for you next time. Please, don't feel obligated. I want to. I want to do nice things too. Okay. Thank you. You can thank me after I figure out how to do something nice. I'll do it then, too. Natsuki sighs. Nothing. It just reminds me of how I haven't been getting along with my friends lately. Is that why you've been coming here? Well, no, not exactly. I'll ship any of them at every opportunity. I haven't been avoiding them on purpose or anything. There are just other things I'd rather be doing during lunch lately. I like being around them when we're all just having fun, but they also can't take anything seriously. So when I'm, I don't know, feeling serious, then their attitudes just really get on my nerves. It's only gotten worse ever since I joined the literature club. How come? I don't know. I feel like I used to be really good with just putting up with it, because it would be so stupid to cause drama over a joke I didn't like or something. But I just have a hard time doing that lately. Damn. I'm like, now make them kiss kid when they're playing with dolls. That is definitely you. But it's my fault for being overly sensitive. If I have a problem, I'm not going to demand for everyone around me to change. But, yeah, I know. Monica and Sayori really don't agree with that kind of thing. But they're not in my position, so it's easy for them to say that you should just communicate your feelings or whatever. It's not like my friend group does that kind of thing. I would just be making an embarrassment of myself. Sorry, none of this has anything to do with you. I don't know why I'm talking about it. That's okay. I like listening. What? Listening to people's problems? Yes. That's weird. Sorry. I just like learning about people. Do you think it's weird? No, that's not weird. I probably just misunderstood, so. I don't know. Does that mean I should keep going? If you'd like. Okay. Well, I don't know what to talk about now. What are some things that you like about your friends? A lot of things. I mean, they're really fun to hang out with, like after school and on the weekends. And they really like my baking. And it's fun to complain about school together. And they make me laugh a lot. And we have a lot of good memories and inside jokes. Oh, I'm bad at a lot of those things. So, are those all things that are important to you? Well, kind of, but they're not things that I need to get out of everybody. Everyone in the club is really different from that, but I'm still friends with them too. Well, Sayori really likes her baking, and she makes you laugh, and she complains a lot. That doesn't mean she's anything like my other friends. Well, unlike them, she's a nice person who cares about your feelings. Excuse me? How about you don't talk that way about my friends that you don't know anything about? Natsuki stands up. No, wait. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't want to say something bad. Please don't leave. Natsuki sighs and shakes her head. It's fine. As long as you understand that you can't just judge people like that. I'm sorry. Natsuki sits back down. Can still judge people like that. Her friends sound like assholes. You just can't compare friends like that and, like, measure who's better than who. Everyone's different. I'm sorry. I just don't like people who want to hurt you. Damn. A moment of silence stretches between them. Natsuki's like, okay, well, you got me there. They don't want to hurt me. We're just like to tease each other about stupid things. It's fun. I don't like that. Well, that's why I'm friends with them and you're not. You like it? No. Just don't worry so much about me. It's not worth it. I'm sorry. I wish I knew how to help with social conflicts. like how Monica can. She's good at these things. Not really. Also, I don't always want help. Sometimes it's just that stuff I have to deal with myself. That's what Monica and Sayori never seem to understand. Sometimes all you do is look at them wrong and they're all like, "Oh, what's wrong? Is everything okay?" I just want to mind my own business sometimes and decide myself if I want to talk about things. The only one who understands that is you. So you really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. You're not as bad as you think. Oh, you don't need to reassure me or anything. I mean that. Plus, it makes sense that someone who doesn't talk a lot would make a good listener. Oh my god, they're being so cute. Thank you. You're also nice. You're also nice. That's the best compliment they can come up with. You're really nice. Yeah, you are too. Let's be friends. It's really hard for me. It doesn't come naturally at all. It's weird because I always thought of myself as someone who can just say whatever's on my mind. Getting just about kissed anytime, I reckon. But I feel like that only works when I'm annoyed or upset or I want to say something mean. Why am I like that? You don't have to answer that. I'm just talking to myself. Yuri nods and remains silent. Natsuki notices her fidgeting with the pages of her book. How come you like reading so much? Oh, well, a lot of reasons. But I just get sucked into it so easily. It's so immersive, like I want to be a part of it. I think there are a lot of things about people in real life that make me feel uncomfortable and frustrated, especially when it comes to following social conventions and group interactions. I just don't really understand it and have no real desire to participate. But it's different with books. It feels like I always want to be around the characters. I feel such a strong emotional connection with them in ways that I've never felt with real people. So, in that way, it can sometimes feel more real than real life. Really? Is it that hard to be around people, like, all the time? Fairly often, especially in group settings. Same. We're the same, Yuri. That's why I like her so much. When people are making all kinds of conversation and saying jokes, and all of that, I don't know what to do, and I just disengage. Oh, it doesn't get lonely? I don't think so. I can still enjoy spending time with people one-on-one, and I have online friends too, of course. In the literature club, do you ever wish that you could be friends with the characters in your books? All the time. Sometimes so badly that it makes my heart ache. Yeah, me too. Really? A lot. Oh, we're being so deep. Like, more than anything. After Natsuki mutters that, silence fills the stairwell once more. But it's a mutual silence, one full of understanding. Oh, we got one more side story to do, and then we done. Oh, look at that! That's so cute. Yay, look at my cute little wallpaper. I love it. Oh, no special art scene for that one? No. The art scenes have started only becoming part 2. So I'm sure it'll be here. Self-Love Part 2. It's the last one. There'll probably be a special scene in this one. Hey. Oh, hello. I almost thought you weren't coming today. Yeah, well, lunch is already more than halfway over. Natsuki had typically been meeting Yuri in the stairwell much earlier, since it had been a good way of dodging her friends when she didn't feel like seeing them. Today, she's holding a large plastic container in both hands. I ran into my friends, so I hung out with them for a while. Is that so? Yeah. I was in a good mood today, so I figured I should. I hadn't seen them in a while, which I had to come up with a good excuse for, but I expected that. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to do with, so I figured I would share it with them, too. As she sits down, Natsuki opens the lid of her container. You made cupcakes. You know it! It's been a while at this point, so I figured it was about time again. You can take one if you want. Yuri takes a cupcake and carefully twirls it between her fingers. It's brown with dark green frosting, immaculately shaped into a floral pattern and topped with some kind of glittery powder. How pretty. I just ate, so I may not be able to finish it. Are they for the club? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really think about it. I just made them. I just thought that because green is Monica's favorite color, right? Well, yeah, but that's not really... Yuri takes a small bite. This is green tea flavored. Oh, I made it for Yuri! I'm gonna die! I love green tea. Oh, do you? It was just a random idea I wanted to try, so she fucking knew she liked green tea. What the fuck? Don't laugh at me. I'm not. I just felt happy. Oh, sorry. Usually when... Never mind. What I mean is that I'm glad. Sorry for saying dumb things again. I just wanted to do something nice. And this is something that I happen to be good at. And I do know that you like them, from past experience. Yuri turns red, recalling the time she treated herself rather generously to Natsuki's cupcakes. That she did, with green tea, right? She wasn't paying any attention. Ironically, her mouth is too full of cupcake for her to stammer an excuse, so she just settles for a disapproving look. How did you get into baking? Oh, well, I don't know. It just kind of always appealed to me. Well, like a few years ago, I read this one manga with a lot of baking, so I got like super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff like almost every day. But it's something that I always knew I liked anyway. It's like baking is like art, but when you get good at it, it gets more delicious too. I'm struggling to imagine myself putting my heart into something so artistic, knowing that it would be eating afterwards. Yeah, maybe you're too practical for it. I think I prefer to be on the receiving end. That's my other favorite part about it. It's something I can do that makes a lot of people happy, like unconditionally. Everyone is always so thankful, and in that moment, you get to be like the bringer of joy. I don't know, it just makes me feel valued. Yeah, I guess that. So you were able to make up with your friends today? There wasn't really anything to make up with them about. We weren't fighting or anything. You weren't? Maybe I misunderstood. No, it only turns into a fight if I lose my cool. And that's just unnecessary drama. It only makes things worse. So they're not going to stop? I mean, it only happens sometime anyway. It's just the way they are. I'm not the only one who ever has a problem with it. It's not worth it. Especially since I have somewhere to go now and I don't feel like hanging out with them. Oh, I see. The cupcake's empty foil wrapper audibly crinkles as Yuri clenches a fist. I'm glad that the situation is resolved. And that you don't have to avoid them anymore. Yeah, me too. Uh-oh. And I don't have to bother you during your alone time anymore. I'm sure you have a lot of reading to catch up on. Yeah. No, don't break up so soon. I know that cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all the stuff you've done for me. But it's the best I can do. So you can have the rest of them. Natsuki grabs the box and slides it over to Yuri's feet. Yuri stares at the box. Then she shakes her head and slides them back. You should save them for your other friends. But I made them for you. Natsuki's voice whines as she protests. I know, and I like them very much, exactly as you thought. You succeeded, but I know that you care about making your other friends happy too. And if this is the way you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take it from you. No, they were for making you happy. You make me happy. You're worth more than cupcakes to some people. That's why they want to spend time with you and be your friend. Without warning, tears pour from Natsuki's eyes. She pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing into her arms. Oh no, Natsuki. I'm such a bad person. Yuri stammers, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say something bad. Natsuki shakes her head and wipes her eyes. You didn't. Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs, but struggles to speak through them. I just really hate myself sometimes. And it feels so wrong when you say those nice things to me. Like, I don't deserve it. I'm sorry. No, I am. I'm so difficult. And I can't think of a single thing about myself that somebody would like. And I hated myself for bothering you during lunch. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person, like to be nice and do the things you wrote about in the letter. I knew if I tried in the club, Sayori and Monica would be super annoying and make a huge deal out of it. You know, I think a lot of those negative things too, about myself. I never felt like a good person. I always scrutinize everything I say. And later I feel like I said all the wrong things. I know. Inside each person is 4 high school girls. And I spent so much time thinking about myself, hating myself, and feeling like everyone else must hate me too. So I understand some of that through my own experience. And that's why I wanted to write the letter and express my feelings. It pained me to see those things in someone else that I saw in myself. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri rustles through her bag and pulls out some tissues, then hands them to Natsuki. Monica told me that it takes a good person to reflect on these things. The desire to improve yourself. That makes you a good person. So don't worry so much. Also, there are things about you that people would like, so... Aw, she's trying so hard. Like what? Oh god. Like how you're fun for people to be around. This is always a hard question to ask. And you're not shy, and you know how to make people laugh. And you're very passionate about things, and you know how to take the lead. And you care a lot about other people. And just a lot of things. Oh. Well, now you're making me feel really embarrassed. Well, you're the one who asked. And don't you think I feel embarrassed? Natsuki tries to hide a smile. Then she sighs as it fades again. Every time I come here, I always think it's the last time, but then I keep coming back for some reason. Is that bad? Just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back, so ditching them all the time feels like, I don't know. Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quiet. Maybe I'm scared that they'll get mad at me. I really don't know what to do. She pauses. Yuri stares into the distance, tracing her eyes along the patterns of the floor tiles while she thinks to herself. Put me on the spot and I couldn't come up with a single thing, like asking my favorite color or movie or book. Exactly. I couldn't do that either. What would you do, hypothetically, if your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you? Happy for what? Happy that your new club is making you happy. Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical. Natsuki says that, but with a little confidence in her voice. I always told myself that I don't rely on the approval of others to be happy. And I still feel that way, but spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval. That's probably what's making me feel so confused. Because I'm throwing out the things that should make me happy. So no matter what, it's like I have to be unhappy to be happy. It's just making my head hurt. That must make it really difficult to feel comfortable with yourself. Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are. It really goes against everything I believe in, doesn't it? It goes against the kind of person I want to be. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with a lot of things. Natsuki presses her palms into her forehead and shakes her head. I know it's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. It's so much easier to be comfortably unhappy than it is to do something so scary. To do what? You know. To end it. With them? Natsuki nods. I didn't think you were actively considering that as an option. It wasn't until recently. It's just one of those things where, like, it's been a certain way for so long that you just get used to it. Like, so much of you has gone into it. So much does it feel like that just how your life is. And throwing it away it's like throwing away such a big part of your life. It makes me feel sick to think about. Natsuki sighs. It's just really scary. It's terrifying. What are you scared of? I don't know. A lot of things. Yuri taught her to value herself. Exactly. Like being alone. Not having anyone to talk to or hang out with. Not being able to replace what I have with them. And I don't want them to hate me. And I'm scared they'll hurt me for going against them. Physically? Not physically. But... Yuri clenches her fists. Natsuki. What? If anyone thinks to cause you harm, she'll stab him in the chest. I will unleash hell upon them. All I can think about is the time in Act 2 where she just like fucking stabs herself till she dies. She shouldn't laugh. She freaking means it. I know, man. She's serious. She got that killer in her, bruh. She got that killer in her. She'll murder them in the hallway. Don't laugh at me. Sorry, I like that. That's all. Oh, well, I meant it. I know you did. Natsuki gives Yuri an endearing look. I needed it. As the conversation lapses, Natsuki again slides her box of cupcakes over to Yuri. Just take them, okay? I don't want other people to have them anymore. Are you sure? Natsuki nods. I'm sure. I will, then. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads through her. Aww. She holds on to that feeling, knowing it will give her courage. Fucking cute, man. Ah, you're here first today. Mm-hmm. And you brought reading material. Mm-hmm. Natsuki is sitting in her usual spot, this time holding a volume of manga while her lunch sits beside her. Yuri sits down as well and opens her own book. So wholesome. It sucks when a good series has to come to an end. Like, it's such a big part of your life, and then one day there's just nothing left. That makes you feel so empty. Unfortunately, I'm about to experience that myself. I'm on the last book of this series. That sucks. But there's also something satisfying about letting a story conclude. I don't know if I want it to go on forever. Maybe. But there are some things that I wish could. On the other hand, have you ever read something that overstayed its welcome? Yeah, definitely. I can think of at least one thing I read that got pretty unbearable like halfway through and the ending really sucked. So it sucks when something good has to end, but it also sucks when they just keep inventing more plot until you don't like it anymore. And we all know some anime like that. And TV shows. Like, I think Supernatural got that way. I don't even know if I watched the last season or not. I think I quit like about 8. I just quit. Personally, I wish this was just the game for me. Oh, well, yeah, for you, that's because your favorite character died, though. Like, first thing. You have to keep escalating the threat. Exactly. Like, who the fuck they gonna fight next? The universe? I guess it sucks either way. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the nature of all things. They come to an end. The two fall silent. They slowly eat while making their way through their respective reading material. When you're 3 seasons past God, it gets rough. That's true. That's what happened during Supernatural, even in a JRPG. Except Natsuki doesn't seem to be touching her food at all. You don't go out during the weekends, right? Excuse me? Like with friends, at the mall, downtown, or whatever? I'm not a total shut-in, you know. Oh, my bad for making assumptions. Well, I'm sure I go less often than other people, like you and the others in the club. I don't really meet with friends and arbitrarily spend time like that. I'm usually meeting my board game group. Board game group? It doesn't matter. It's just more nerdy stuff. Why do you ask, anyway? I was just curious. I realized I couldn't picture it, so I was just curious. Yuri looks at Natsuki and realizes that she's shaking. Aww. Don't look at me like that. Sorry. Natsuki pulls her knees into her chest and puts her head down. I can't take this. Did I do something? Yuri gets flustered, her mind racing over what she may have said or done. I did. I ended it. I texted them earlier telling them. And then I just blocked them because I'm so afraid of their responses. Now it feels like I'm dying inside. Oh, that's... Aw, poor Natsuki. I'm sorry. Totally unsure of what to do, Yuri can barely find any words of support to offer. Meanwhile, the sound of Natsuki's unusually hard breathing fills the air. Then she speaks again, barely above a whisper. Help me. I feel sick and I want to lift my head against things. Please help. I can't take this. You may be having a panic attack. With that realization, Yuri's demeanor suddenly changes. I have experience with this, so I'll help you through it, okay? Natsuki meekly nods through her rapid breath, head still buried in her knees. Yuri slides herself over to Natsuki and sits on the step behind her. Then she puts her hands on Natsuki's shoulders. Can you feel my hands? Natsuki nods. Her shaking becomes more apparent through Yuri's sense of touch. Yuri keeps her voice low and gentle. You're safe right now. You're in a good and safe place where nothing can hurt you. Natsuki nods once more. Although Yuri is only touching Natsuki's shoulders, she can practically feel her racing pulse through the base of her neck. Special art time? I don't know. We're gonna see. We'll do a breathing exercise together. All you have to do is listen to my breaths and breathe along with me. Let's breathe in now. Yuri takes a deep, slow breath. Beneath her hands, she feels Natsuki's shoulders rise as Natsuki takes a breath of her own, trying to mimic Yuri. They exhale together, although Natsuki's breath shakes on the way out. That's good. Let's keep going. Yuri breathes in once more, and Natsuki joins her. They continue like that for a few more cycles while Yuri closely monitors. Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki rest more of her weight into Yuri's palms. Let's focus on the physical world. All you have to do is focus on the feeling of your breaths going in and out, and the weight of my hands on your shoulders. You're in a safe and comfortable physical space. Apparently not special art time. Minutes pass in silence. By now, the worst of it is past, but Yuri is determined not to move away until Natsuki prompts her to. Meanwhile, Natsuki has lifted her head off her knees, and her breathing has mostly steadied. Then, she takes a final deep breath and slowly pulls herself up to her feet, causing Yuri to let go. She stretches her arms. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freak out. I don't know what my deal is. You don't have to apologize. This must be enormously stressful for you. Is that going to keep happening? It may or it may not. We can take measures to help prevent it in the future, but I think it will naturally get better over time. Natsuki motions to sit back down again, so Yuri moves over. Yuri turns away to pick up her open book from the dusty floor, which she had hastily set down earlier. She brushes the dust off the cover. I don't think I would have gotten through that alone. Could there possibly be a better scene for special art time? I don't know. Possibly. I guess we're gonna find out, huh? You're not alone. Feeling shy again, Yuri speaks into her own lap. Aw, from now on, you don't have to do anything alone. Aw, look how cute. As she says that, Yuri tenses up. It's rare for her to so openly share her thoughts, but something about Natsuki, of all people, makes it feel so much more natural to do so. Perhaps because, like Yuri, Natsuki is so timid and uncertain of herself. Natsuki does such a good job at hiding it that it's taken a long time for Yuri to finally realize it. And because of that, Yuri is able to deliver the reassurance that she herself would have wanted, demonstrating that you deserve the love of others. If you can accept that for the first time, then perhaps you can begin the tumultuous journey of learning to love yourself. Here we go! Special scene. Aww. Do you really mean that? You're probably gonna regret saying that if you do. How so? Because I'm probably going to have a lot of free time during the weekends from now on. So you're giving me permission to be as annoying as I want and drag you around to a lot of places. I see. But you already said it, so you can't take it back now. Well, I suppose I have no choice but to accept that responsibility then. Fucking cute. Yay, special scene with everybody. Woo woo. This is probably like the cutest one. I know a good ice cream place. Oh? That means you'll finally figure out my favorite ice cream flavor. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, you don't remember? The first day you came to the club, you guessed everyone's favorite ice cream flavor. But for me, you said you had no idea. Seriously? I don't remember that at all. I do! Even though I want to ship them, it's such a cute friendship. Oh wait, yes I do. I said it was probably green tea. Yuri shakes her head. It's a good guess, but my favorite is usually to get chocolate and raspberry together. Chocolate and raspberry? How fancy. How is that fancy? Oh, I don't know. I feel like I should have guessed something like that. Well, maybe next time I'll try chocolate and strawberry. Hey, strawberry is my favorite. What a coincidence. It's too cute. It's cuter than Sayori and Monica's. I think it helps to have something to look forward to. I still have the sick feeling in my stomach, but it's easier now to convince myself that I did the right thing. Is there anything better I could be doing? Not that I know of. There's nothing that would make this easy for me. I think I misread who was speaking. And you already did more than I thought anyone could. Come to think of it, we never talked about the letter you wrote. But I feel like we're way past that at this point. I don't even know what to talk about. Cop and a feel, I guess. Except that I think it helped me understand my needs a little bit better. The way I like to be treated. And the kinds of friends that I want to have. That's what I thought. That's why I wanted to start coming here in the first place. Even though I was so scared of causing more problems. I thought it was a coincidence that you ran into me here initially. Oh, well, not exactly. What do you mean? Nothing. Oh, she came there on purpose. Your ass is making me feel so much cover, Yuri. I may have tracked you down first with the help of Sayori. Oh my god, Sayori. Wing woman Sayori. But you said... I was shy, okay? I wasn't ready to whatever, you know what I'm saying. Well, I guess I'm glad that you worked up the courage, even if it was in your own way. I can tell that you've been making a lot of difficult decisions. It's brave, and it will make things better in the long run. I think anyone would be proud of you for it. Anyone? You mean like you? Aww. Like me. So fucking cute. You know, I could get used to this. As long as you don't tease me too much. Fine. Just a little then. That's fine. Yuri's starting to get used to the teasing too. I know how uncertain everything feels to you right now, but I really do think that good things are in store. Those are my honest feelings. Thanks. Feels so nice to be reassured. Oh my god, so fucking cute. Two girls continue their conversation through the remainder of lunch. But a new feeling hangs in the air. A feeling of greater certainty in their path forward. In just a few hours, there will be another literature club meeting where the 4 club members will happily spend time together. That was the best one. Well, the good thing is the ending, right? Each of them, all with their own special qualities, have something unique that they can deliver to one another. And also, like, they've been having problems like this entire game. Though friendship and literature, the club members will continue to grow and find new happiness together. The end of each chapter is the start of the next. Yuri thinks to herself, since she's about to finish her long-running series, it would be best to have a new book lined up. Perhaps this weekend would be a good time to visit the bookstore. Together. Aww, shit. Ah! Super secret side story. Let's look at pictures. We got all these pictures. Yay. We got all the poems. Hooray. There's 2 more left. 2 more pictures. And 1 more something that I missed. Oh, that's a cute picture of Monica. Alright. Last side story. Equals. Can it top that last one? Okay, everyone. We're going to be taking a break from the usual activities today. I was thinking since people are starting to talk about the festival, it's a good time for us to go over the general direction of the club and all that. I think it'll help us figure out what to do for the festival, you know? Oh, Sayori and I already came up with a really good plan. Really? For the festival? Yeah, so the plan is this, okay? You and Yuri collect information ahead of time on which clubs and classes are doing food booths. Then we take a map and plan the most efficient route so we can get to most of them before the lines get too long. Hey, that has nothing to do with the club. Oh, you have to let me finish. All right, fine, go ahead. Right, so basically we get all the food we can, and we come back here and we all eat together. That's all. Wow, I got tricked twice by the same joke. Boo, don't be a hater. It's not like you can come up with anything better. Look, even Yuri was thinking about it. Hell of a plan, exactly. No, I wasn't. I would really prefer to do something literature-related. We can eat together anytime. The festival is a unique opportunity. Besides, it's been quite a while since we've seen any new interest in the club. Because there's only 4 of them! Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We really got a shot at showing people what the literature club is all about. I'll tell you what, we can do both, right? We'll make time for your food mission and still put together a public event. Oh my gosh, yes! I was just joking, but that's a really good idea. Well, I'm glad that's settled. I think the question is how to come up with an event that demonstrates everything you can get out of the literature club. She was not joking. Well, that's kind of tough because everyone gets something different out of the club. Okay, how about this? Let's go around and have each of us talk about what we've gotten out of the club so far. That could really help us figure out what kind of reputation we want to build. Yeah! That's too embarrassing. Oh, but you have so much to talk about! That's exactly why. And I'm sure Natsuki feels the same way. Well, maybe, but I didn't plan on arguing against it or anything. I mean, it's the literature club. We talk about that stuff together, right? And the only way to get more comfortable with it is to suck it up and do it. Oh, you're not wrong. I'm sorry for being resistant. It's not a good thing to say suck it up because it sounds like their feelings don't matter. Right, my bad. It's just a habit I need to break. Well, anyway, who's gonna start? I'll start! I was the first to join after all. Wouldn't that be me? No! I wanna go first. Fine. You can start, I don't mind. Yay! So, gosh, it feels like so long ago. I think I joined because I wanted to have fun sharing poems with people. It seemed like it would be a safe way to express myself, you know? Like if it's just a poem, then I can share it without feeling like I'm burdening everybody with my problems. And I thought it would be a really good way to get to know other people too. So yeah, I was really surprised when I walked in and it was just Monica. And she was sleeping. Don't remind me of that, oh gosh. Yeah, but it seemed like so much fun to help start a new club. Especially since writing helped me so much. I wanted to see it help other people too. But it ended up being me who was inspired. Because I remember feeling like Monica was just so sweet and mature and that I could trust her with anything. It made me feel a lot less alone, having someone who knew even the bad things about me. And at that point, I knew the literature club was going to be special for a lot of people. Yeah, I felt the same way. It really helped give the club a more cohesive vision. Yeah, and then when Yuri joined, but she was so different from us. And Natsuki, too. I think, for Yuri, it really helped me to take the lead before she was able to open up a little. But Natsuki was kind of the opposite, where she wasn't really ready to get really close to someone really quickly. I never thought about that sort of thing. I really feel like I've gotten better at understanding people's different needs. And that makes me really happy, because my friends are just the most important thing to me. And whatever new members we get, I want to help them in those ways too. I don't know if I would have continued coming to the club if it weren't for you. Really? I know it wasn't too long ago, but it hurts to think about my behavior back then. I was really short-sighted. The only reason I came was to find others who were into fantasy. I suppose that was my idea of making friends with people. And I remember feeling uncomfortable because you and I have such different energy. I had such a specific idea of the kind of person I could be friends with. So when Sayori tried so hard to get to know me, I felt like I was just wasting her time. I think I was naive to assume that similar interests were the key component of friendship. Sayori and I were able to be friends because she always thinks about the needs of other people. That's something I never knew how to do or even thought to do. That's absolutely true. And the opposite is true too. Just because you have the same interests does not mean you're a compatible friend. I learned that very recently. But I stayed in the club thanks to that. And I started trying as hard as I could to understand people better. You really went above and beyond when it came to that. I was just super impressed. Well, I always hated that I didn't know how to behave like a person who is easily liked by others, like the two of you can. And because of that, I spent so much time thinking about my own behavior and all the wrong things I said. But the whole time, I should have been thinking about other people instead, not myself. Once I started doing that, I was able to make friends with everyone else. Oh, also, I discovered that sometimes I'm a better communicator when I take the time to write, rather than speak. Black clothes on Ko-Fi did not make my costume today. It was Jack-on night. I forgot to change it again. It's so strange the way that things turned out. It's so far different from anything I ever would have expected. But I'm happy. I suppose we don't always know what we really need. Oh my gosh! You're so cute and I'm going to throw up! Okay, please don't do that, Sayori. Besides, I'm not cute. Hey, isn't that my line? Oh. Well, for me, it's actually true, so... Well, what are you saying? Nothing. I finished my part, so somebody else take their turn. My heart! Sayori, take some deep breaths. They're all cute. They need to stop lying. Okay, fine, I'll go. Yuri, I can't believe you were complaining about doing this and still went before me. What a show-off. I was just following up on Sayori. This is the easiest way to get it over with. Besides, you must have left out the most important thing you get out of this club. I did? Yeah, a regular supply of your favorite cupcakes. Oh, no, I forgot about that too. I'm a traitor to the Cupcake Queen. Neither of you are forgiven. Looks like only Monica will be getting cupcakes next time. No! I can't eat that many cupcakes. Yeah, true, only Yuri can. Hey. Well, anyway, I'm just putting off talking. It's kind of hard to talk about this stuff. But I guess what it comes down to is that I'm in a much better place mentally than when I first joined. And that's because everyone helped me realize that I had some really toxic friendships going on outside the club. It was honestly a really painful thing to go through, having to cut them out. It still hurts to think about. I'm sorry, Natsuki. It's fine. I knew it was for the best, and I was right. I guess for me, it's all about feelings. I was only ever ridiculed for having feelings, so I thought the right thing to do was just to ignore them. It took me a really long time to realize it's not really how things are supposed to work. And I guess that's thanks to everyone who took the time to respect my feelings, even when I was being the biggest jerk. I'm really sorry for being such a jerk to everyone. I was really the worst. Natsuki's voice chokes a little. We love you, Natsuki. I just hate that I was like that. Everyone did so much for me and I could never do anything in return. That's not true. Natsuki, you've done a lot more than you think. This club really wouldn't have been the same without you. I mean that. Aww, Natsuki. Remember how judgmental I was when you first showed up? It was like I couldn't accept anything other than my own idea of what a literature club was supposed to be. Apparently, that was more important to me than the opportunity to bring you some happiness. You really taught me that anything makes someone happy is worthy of respect. You even inspired me to start playing piano. That's something that means a whole lot to me. So there's no need to put yourself down. Okay. Natsuki wipes her eyes. You help me a lot too. It's so much fun to have you around. And you help me become a better person. Having a problem doesn't make you needy or inconvenient. It means that there's something that needs to be better for you. And you always deserve that. I agree. Seeing us have some of the same struggles made me a better person as well. I wouldn't want to change anything about our time here. I don't think any of us would. I'm sorry I got all dramatic again. That's all I wanted to say, so Monica can go now. There's no need to apologize. It was something I wanted to talk about anyway because it made a big difference for me. I was always such a strict perfectionist who never took enough time to believe in the best of other people. But everyone kept proving me wrong. I made the mistake multiple times thinking that my way was the best for everyone. Or thinking that I was needed to solve other people's problems. But I think being a leader means that you have to acknowledge that you're not perfect, and that the best thing you can do is help guide people rather than to do everything for them. We're all good people. We're all equals. I think that's the most important thing I've gotten out of the club, realizing what that really means. Sayori, what are you doing? I just thought that we should be writing some of these things down. Things about the club that are valuable to us. With a piece of chalk in her hand, Sayori writes the word trust on the chalkboard. This is because you showed me that I could trust you with everything about me, not just my good side. Suddenly, Yuri takes a piece of chalk as well. She writes, understanding. I owe a lot of gratitude for everyone who took the time to understand me, even though it was so difficult for me to express myself. In that case, Monica takes a piece of chalk as well and writes the word respect. I always thought I was a respectful person, but it took the club for me to realize that there were more to it than I thought. And I'm a better person because of it. I have another one. Sayori writes balance. Sometimes people want different things out of a friendship, or they need time before they're ready to come close. So it's important to keep things balanced between you and the other person. That reminds me. Yuri writes reflection. I've always been a reflective person, but most of it has been nothing more than hating myself for all the things I thought I did wrong. Once I started reflecting on other people and not just myself, a lot of things changed for me. So I think that's the most important one for me. That's great. We have a whole list of things now. Suddenly, everyone turns to look at Natsuki. Oh no, Natsuki. Well, everyone took all the chalk. Don't look at me like that, jeez. You could have just asked. Monica hands her piece of chalk to Natsuki. Then Natsuki sighs and writes self-love. I don't know how far I've gotten with it yet, but it feels like things are at least on the right track. So there, that's my contribution. Together, everyone stares at the words on the board. That happens to be all the side story names. Wasn't this club supposed to be about literature? It is! We still do a lot of literature. Friendship and literature. Friendship is magic! Yeah, you're right. Friendship and literature. Natsuki and Yuri gently nod as well. Hey, let's all take a picture together. Fuck yeah, here comes the cute scene time. We don't have one yet, right? Hey, you're right! Make sure you send it to me after. Wait, can I brush my hair first or something? Oh, you're fine. You already have the best hair out of all of us. Everyone get together. I can't fit you all in. Okay. Okay, everyone ready? And click! Oh, wait, did I just show it? Was that it? Was that it? I'm really glad we talked about this stuff. It's easy to forget how far we've come with only 4 members. Yeah! I have so many happy thoughts right now. Bullshit. I know! Such bullshit. I'm getting some really good inspiration for a poem. You know, I feel the same way. I kind of want to get some writing done. Me too! I think I would like that as well. Everyone's looking at me again. I'll do it too, but I might not feel like sharing it. That's okay. The 4 members of the literature club disperse and return to their desk, each equipping themselves with a pen. Satsuki and Yuri give each other a quick glance, then start writing immediately. Sayori stretches, then does the same, but Monica is left tapping her pen against the paper, unsure of where to start. Just move your hand, Monica mouths to herself. Oh, is this where she starts writing her song? Write the way into your heart. Her mind full of thoughts, memories, and inspiration, Monica navigates past her mental barriers and begins to write. It doesn't matter what, just that it's something new. It is. Ah, look at him, so cute. I also just love seeing this cat auto move. Like, it's so, look at it. Quality assurance. Although we didn't get a special scene, and that makes me upset. We should have got a special scene of all 4 of them, like, hugging and stuff. We might, though. Well, maybe we can wait to the end. I don't know, though. That's the best one. You take away your last, the best one. There we go. There we go. There's the special one. Yay! So stinking cute, bruh. Hey, I got a completion thing. We have to make that one our special scene. Oh, look! You even get a funny one. Look at that. That's cute. Look at the funny one you get. That's so funny. I'm gonna set this one as my wallpaper. Nice. That's so cute. Oh my god. Can't stand it. That was the version of the game for wimps like me. the ones that doesn't want to see the cute characters die. Man. I'm just a tough dragon, I guess. It's what happens when you're like thousands of years old. Alright, let's see. Let's see. There are actually quite a few people in the raid. Let us raid Lashroom. She's a mushroom witch. We can raid her. We haven't raided her in a while. She's playing a fishing game. Fishing Planet. So, very cozy. Probably a lot different than... Well, not a lot different from, you know, the last bit of this game, but very different from the very beginning of this game. I have to act. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with some Romancylvania. We're gonna keep going with the horror stuff. I mean, tomorrow's gonna be literal horror stuff. Because we're doing Romancylvania. And then Saturday, there may or may not be a stream. I don't know. It's TBA. Next week, we're going to be doing all Halloween again. Yeah. Because it's Halloween, baby. Next week, I have a special costume to do on Wednesday. You'll figure it out. It's going to be funny. But anyways, thanks guys for showing up. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night.